Hey everybody, welcome back to the official Penguins versus Flyers first round series debate. In case you missed it, the game is going to be on this Wednesday, 7 p.m. We got the primetime slot, so make sure you tune in, check it out, and see if either Cole or myself are off to the right foot with our debate here. As I said before, my name's Alex, and you are?
Cole.
And Cole, where are you from?
Bethel Park.
Oh, right down the road from Canamac. Well, that's okay. We always like to include a loser here in our videos. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So, Cole, what's your prediction for the series?
I want to say Pens in 5, but
Quite frankly, I'm going to take the Flyers in 6 there. So one game above yours, we're going to flip the side. But it's been very apparent that we cannot stop your goal scorers this regular season. You know, all 4 games we played, you put up 5 goals. But the Flyers are rolling a little bit now. You know, the past 2 weeks, they grinded out what they needed to do to go ahead and secure the playoff position. Now, stepping with that, both goaltenders are a little bit suspect, though.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, you and us, have won the last 4 out of 5 games.
Quite frankly, it's a little bit embarrassing to lose to the same team 4 times in the regular season when you only play them 4 times. For that to happen twice on our home ice, you know, that doesn't sit well with the fans, the coaching staff, nor the players. Excuse me. So I definitely expect the point scorers to show up to play, and I definitely expect the scrappers to show up, and they're going to cause some mayhem. If you guys saw my video a couple days ago, I was talking heavily on Claude Giroux. You know, he finished with 102 points. This was the 11th time in NHL history someone 30 years or older has done that. So with all that being said, with Claude Giroux rolling, Jakub Voracek rolling, Sean Couturier even putting up big numbers this season, what's the game plan to stop those 3?
Stop those 3 is honestly right now, it's get underneath their skin. I mean, we struggle 5-on-5. That's keys to win for, in my opinion, for the Flyers. They got to limit their shorthanded time. They're 29th on the PK at 75.8%. I mean, Philly, you guys are plus 13 on 5-on-5, and we're negative 15 on 5-on-5. I mean, we have the top power play in the league.
Mm-hmm.
We're scoring 26.2% of the time, 68 for 260 on the season. I mean, that's pretty good. Broke a franchise record there.
Some of the keys that I have written down here, which I don't, by the way. You know, Cole showed up with a whole book of stats, you know, and I'm rolling on the pieces of paper that I used last time, so I'm just kind of free-balling here, which, by the way, I'm not wearing any boxers, so I'm kind of double free-balling, but you didn't need to know that.
No.
Anyway, you know, it's been proven time and time again that you can go ahead, you can rough up Crosby, you can get in his head, you can get under his skin, you do whatever you need to do, but the man still shows up to play, you know. So, quite frankly, I don't think attacking Crosby mentally or physically is going to get it done. Malkin, however, and Phil Kessel, I'm completely okay with going after. Get scrappy, get bloody, get chippy, get sharpy, throw them off their game, we're okay with that. Crosby, we really need to work on keeping him in front of us. As soon as that puck gets dumped, he gets in behind. In my opinion, this season, that's where he's been most dangerous. You know, and this season as well, while he hasn't put up a hell of a lot of goals, you know, he's definitely been a playmaker. He makes other players around him better. And that's something that kind of frightens me a little bit.
Oh, I agree with that. I mean, you see the stick handling, puck work, passing, everything he does, game in, game out. I mean, shooting. It's amazing how he bats his pucks out of the air and everything.
Agreed.
I mean, I will say, if you watch the Caps versus the Pens the last game, you saw how Malkin got very agitated at the end, got kicked out.
Yep.
I mean, that's definitely key. We got to stay calm, cool, and collected, obviously.
Which I think we know neither team is going to do.
No. If you remember the last time we played in the playoffs, I believe it was
2012.
Game 3 or Game 4. I think it was Giroux. His glove was on the ice and Crosby hit it.
Yeah, that was Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3. He hit it, and it just started
the whole out brawl.
Yep.
Was that the game where the coaches were up on the bench screaming at each other?
I believe so.
Yeah?
I believe it was.
If we take a look at some of the defensemen on the Flyers, Shane Gostisbehere put up 65 points this year. 13 goals, 7 of them came directly from the power play. And then Provorov committed a goal as well the last regular season game, which gave the Flyers defenseman 50 goals for the season. That's the first time that a defense has scored 50 goals since the 92-93 season for the Flyers. Does our defense getting in the attack concern you at all?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we lost Ian Cole, who's a big asset for shot blocking. he always put his body out there. I mean, like I said, like our D-men, hopefully we can get some blocks out of them. I mean, sure we will. We always have, but it is a problem because right now I would say Murray is struggling a bit coming back. I mean, he's 4-2-1 in the last 7 games, and basically, if you get past him, you got a Casey DeSmith who's never seen the playoffs in his life.
So for whatever reason, Murray doesn't show up one day, gets pulled, gets sick, whatever, and they put in DeSmith. I'm still a little concerned, because you do have a good goaltender. Now the Flyers, on the other hand, if Brian Elliott gets pulled, I'm a little shaky at that point.
They're saying right now Peter Mrazek is a backup.
Yeah, and that does not sit well.
And then you got
me.
Alex Lyon.
Yeah, not a fan. I mean, we share the same first name, but that doesn't mean he has my athletic ability. Ooh, let's try to be a funny joke, but it wasn't really funny. But Cole, I agree with you, and that is going to be a very high-scoring game. Games 1 and 2 are going to be very interesting, both in Pittsburgh. With this series, however, I don't see it as a momentum-building type series, and what I mean by that is each game is going to be something different. It's going to be a clean slate.
We're going to take it one by one every game.
Yep.
Both teams, honestly. I mean, key for the Pens is you have to win 2 at home. You have to win 2 at home because if you go down 0-2 going into Philly, it's going to be very, very tough to get out of there with 2 dubs.
I think 0-2 for either team is going to be tough, whether Philly's down 0-2 returning home or the Penguins are down 2-0 going on the road. It's definitely going to be interesting, to say the least. However, the Flyers do need to squeak one out in Pittsburgh. Game 1, I don't see it happening. I think the Penguins show up to play. They have something to prove. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, looking for that three-peat. So they're definitely going to show up and give their fans a treat. However, I think the Penguins, the Flyers, once they get over the duration of not being in the playoffs, they get used to playoff hockey and the atmosphere playing in Pittsburgh, they're going to show up and they're going to squeak out game 2.
Yeah.
And then they're going to return home and pick up 2 more.
Nolan Patrick, that's right.
Nolan Patrick, there we go.
Is he a rookie? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought. So that's first time for him seeing. Going in second line's going to be big for him.
And we've seen him, at the beginning of the year. He wasn't seeing much ice time. Yeah, we picked him pretty high up in the draft. But as the season's progressed, he's moving up his ranks in the lines. He's getting more and more ice time. He's showing up. But again, and if you've played any playoff sport yourself, you can attest to it is a different atmosphere. For the first couple minutes, there's just something in you. Whether it's nerves, adrenaline, there's something there that prohibits you from showing up 100%. And where the Flyers are going to be in danger is if they let those nerves work for the Penguins. If the Penguins show up and put up a goal within the first 5 minutes, we're in trouble. Or if the Penguins run away with the game early on, there's really nothing left for the Flyers to do except for make a statement, get dirty, get scrappy, which we all love to see occasionally, but necessarily in game 1, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way with Aston Reese. I mean, he's been in and out of the NHL all throughout the season. I think he's going to be very nervous going into the first game as well. I mean, we'll see. We're missing our third-line center, Broussard. So, I mean, he's skating right now. So, hopefully he's back.
He'll be back in the series.
Yeah, that'll move him to third and Sheahan down to the fourth, and Joris is out. But
do you think the last playoff matchup we had in 2012 is any indication how this one's going to go?
No, I do not believe that, as some would say, but it's, 7 years difference? Or 6 years difference? Yeah, 6 years difference.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of turnover on both squads.
Yes, and since December of 2015, under Mike Sullivan, the Pens have been second in wins, 128, second points percentage, 647, goals first, 713, and then power play percentage at 23.5. That's first in the league too. So he's obviously doing something right there, and I think you obviously see that with 2 cups as well. First 2 years with the team.
Yeah, that's very true.
So he's obviously doing something that the team likes, organization likes, and something that he's always liked, and it's working. So I feel if they follow his plan, dump the puck in, work the feet, get in the zone, don't turn the puck over, obviously, in the defensive zone, then I feel like Pens do come out in 5, but
Very bold prediction, Cotton. See if it pays off. But I agree with you in that this series is going to be nothing like the 2012. A lot of people, a lot of sports analysts like to talk about, oh, we're going to see some turnover from that. And, it's a 6-year difference, man. There are so many new players on both teams. The play style is completely different. The Flyers, still a scrappy team, but not as scrappy as what we saw before. So because they're not as scrappy, what are they going to do? Are they going to try to match the Penguins' skill level? I certainly hope not. I hope they stick to their original game plan.
if they do that, they'll be in a lot of trouble.
And I agree with you on that one 100%. Now, Mike Sullivan, though, I agree. He's one of the best coaches that I've ever had the opportunity to meet. I met him last year at Heinz Field when they were setting up for the outdoor game. Got to hear him talk. He did throw a diss at the Flyers, which made me a little unhappy. I may have thrown a bagel at him, but there's no proof of that. But he's a great guy, and what he's done for the Penguins is fantastic. What do you think the best move he's made for the Penguins has been?
I mean, honestly, the best move in the past 2 years, I guess you could say, is the Cup. But coming in early in the season, they're struggling, like just picking that team up, getting them to go, and doing everything he did in his power to get them into the playoffs when everyone thought they were out. Just like this year, too. We lost 10-1 for second game to the Blackhawks. Everyone was saying we weren't gonna make the playoffs this year, no three-peat. Obviously, I want that to happen, but it's a different road this year. We got to go through you, and then we'll go through the Caps again if they can beat the Blue Jackets. Right now, I do not like going up against Boston, Tampa, or Toronto at all. We've won 1 and 2 against all three of those teams all year. Haven't put up points against them. It's just been tough. So right now, obviously the concern is on the Flyers, but looking ahead, how are you going to beat the Caps? How are you going to beat the Bruins, Leafs? It's just going to be tough.
Thankfully for the Flyers, we have nothing to look ahead to. First series, we're playing the back-to-back Cup champions. And quite frankly, while you are chasing that third trophy, you still are the champions. So you have to go through us to get back to where you want to go. And I think big motivation in that locker room is that we have a clear-cut opportunity to dethrone the current champions. If we do that and we make it through the series, we'll play it by ear, depending on who we get matched up with. But right now, we need to just go ahead and focus on the Penguins. And quite frankly, it's going to be one of the toughest 4 through 7 games that we've played this season. The Flyers have been very streaky this year. They started, I believe, with a 10-game losing streak. That they came back.
They're the only team in NHL history to ever make the playoffs.
That's not a good stat I like to hear.
Losing, I believe it is, losing 10 games and making the playoffs. I believe it was the first team.
And after their 10-game losing streak, they went on a 7-game winner, and then they wound up losing 11 of their next 23. And, they've been up and down all year. We weren't supposed to make the playoffs either. And, the past month we got a little hot, and we've been rolling with it. And hopefully, for my sake, that momentum carries over. It's going to be a very interesting series, Cole. I don't think we're going to be friends during it.
I don't think so either.
And that's okay. I don't plan to show my face much, especially with all my Philly gear. But, hey, shout out to the Sixers real quick. You know what they say, right? Why the Flyers are going to win? It was a sign from God.
I'm glad they at least gave you the chance to see the Cup in Philly.
Oh, that's
earlier last week.
Oh,
man. I'm glad they brought it so you could at least see it.
I thought we were going to make it through this without any shots being taken, but Cole said, skirt, here you go.
Hey,
but
going for the three-peat.
Cole, it's the year of the Philadelphians. Okay, we saw that with the Eagles. We saw that with Villanova. For Christ's sake, the Sixers made the playoffs, my guy.
Yeah,
now it's the Flyers' turn.
You could say that about the Flyers as well.
Definitely could, but I won't. I'll let you say that.
Pens and 5, going for the three-peat. 3 leave.
Pens and 5.
Yep.
Pens and 5, 3-peat champions he's looking forward to. I'm saying Flyers in 6. This is Alex and Cole signing off, and we'll get back to you after Game 1 with a game review. See ya.
The power of the dark